Hey guys, Scott here from Bedrock Maintenance. Today I thought I'd do a quick video on what I use for my window cleaning. So I'm just going to walk back to my shed to open the shed up and find all the tools for you. Now, you can see, got lots of snow now. We had a lot of snow yesterday and then it turned to rain. So the driveway is pretty slippery, as you can see. I snow blowed it last night when I got home. But it's super slippery and starting to snow again. This has been one crazy winter with the weather being cold, warm, cold, warm. Alright, so I'm just gonna get the shed, open the stuff up and show you what I use. Alright, so I got basically two bins. I got one bin for all my towels and rags, and I've got another bin that I keep for all the stuff I need, like the steel wool and everything else. I'll show you that in a minute. And my third thing that I have is my buckets. Right there, where to keep all my squeegees and brushes in. Now, I really should have a better system for my squeegees and brushes, because that's how I keep them, kind of makes them a little bit messy. But I think it's something else to keep in the truck so it's better. But anyways, let's get to it with the squeegees and mops. So, I've got mops, I've got a bunch of different ones that you can get different sleeves. So I got, this is a kind of nice sleeve because it's got the little, the scrubbies inside it. So the red is the scrubby. And I've got just the regular brush. One side's got the brush, the other's got the scrubby on it. And then for small windows, I've got this little small guy here. And then I also have these brushes. They're a little bit frozen. I put it away wet last time. So I got small little brushes here for the French windows. I need to get some new ones. Next thing we have are the squeegees. So I've got different size squeegees. Trying to remember what sizes they are. So this one I believe is a 21 or 22 inch. I use this for storefronts because they got nice big windows, so this makes it easier to do the bigger windows. And then I believe this is I think 14 inch. I've got another 22 inch. Now I don't like these ones as much. These were the first squeegees I bought. Black handles, they're pretty heavy. And then I bought these new ones, the augers. They're super light, I love them. They're so much more easier to use, and they got a quick release on it here. So you can just pull the squeegee in and out. And then I've got the small little one here, squeegee for the French windows. I think this is a 6 inch. I can never remember what size they are. And then I've got another smaller one. I think this is maybe an 8 inch. So that's what I use for squeegees. And then when you're on a ladder, I got this for my belt. So you put this on your belt, you can fit your mop inside. So put your mop in here, that, and then your squeegee goes in here. So that way, when you're on a ladder, it's all nice and neat. Now before, I never knew about the bucket on the belt. My buddy taught me how to do windows years ago, and he still to this day does not have any of this equipment. So this makes it pretty safe. So I used to just take the mop and squeegee up the ladder in my hand and then put it on the rings and that, and they'd always fall down. You come back down the ladder, get them. So it's a much better system, much easier to do. So that's what I use for the what do you call that? The mops and squeegees. Pretty simple. Got a bunch of different ones. I watched a video with Luke, the window cleaner, once, and he actually has a hacksaw in his tools, so that if he's got a house and the squeegee doesn't fit a window, he'll go and cut it down to the right size of the window, so you'll always have that same size, because every window is different. They're never the same size, so you're constantly having to try and find the right size squeegee. Alright, so the next part is the bin here. Alrighty, so let's open this up. So another thing I never had before were these. These are fantastic. So basically you put this on your belt as well. It's a little pouch. You keep all your tools in here. So if you need a scraper, if you need your steel wool, and anything else you need. I keep also this little tool here. This is a screen remover. This thing is awesome, never had this before, but this helps get screens out. Now something else I bought this year were these little clips here, which I clip onto my bin. So what they are for towels. Let me get a towel quickly to show you. So all you do, you take your towel. I'm not sure if I can get it done this way, but it's easier when it's hooked on you. So you just slip it through like that, your towel stays on. And then when you want it, you just pull it off. And this tool has been so helpful because I used to never have that. And once again, I'd have the towels in your pockets or whatnot, and they'd always fall off, and you have to go back down and get them. So this has been super helpful. So these things are great. I've got a couple of these now for all the employees for when we're out. Next thing you need is soap. Now I used Dawn. This is from Costco. Got 3-pack. I think it was like 10 bucks, super cheap. It doesn't matter what dish soap you use, but this is what I tend to buy. Try and buy whatever's on sale as well. So that's that. I got Stiil wool. So the Stiil wool is great. I did not know about Stiil wool until I watched another video from Luke the window cleaner. So this is great, the Stiil wool. Got these little track brushes. These things are fantastic to clean the tracks out. So clean like the tracks like this, gets the dirt and dust out. Okay, what else do we have is a bucket. I also have my ladder. I don't know what these are called, but you put them on the end of your ladder, so when you're inside or outside, you don't scratch anything up. So I got a bunch of those in there. Got spare blades for the scrapers. Now I don't use the scrapers as much as I used to. I'm using the Stiil wool more often, but I got those. I got a bag here full of spare rubbers for the squeegees. So when I have an old one and it doesn't work, just put the new one in. What else is in this little toolbox here? I have, let's see, I got some spare channels and whatnot. So I got all that. I got a lot of other spare channels in there. And that's pretty much all I have in here for my window cleaning tools. So that's the basic stuff I have in here. It's always good to have backups of everything. Now, I never used to have backups of stuff, but I do now. I make sure I have all the stuff I need. There's nothing worse than when you get to your job and you don't have the right tools, or your tools are breaking down, or they don't work proper, especially with squeegees. What happens is the rubber will wear out, or it'll get a little nick in the rubber, and as you're pulling on the window, it leaves a little trail of water. And the only way to fix that is to either flip it around and hope the other side's good, or put a new rubber in. So that's what I've been doing now, keeping all that in the truck. For rubbers, I should be probably switching them out once a week because we use them a lot once the summer hits. I've seen some videos where guys actually switch them out every day. To me, I don't know, that might be a little excessive, but it really does help when you have a new blade on your squeegee, and it's just so much smoother and keeps the windows clean. Alright, so the next thing are rags. Let me grab the bag of rags. Alright, so now rags are actually pretty important. I used to always just get old towels that my mom or any people were giving away, cut them up and use those to detail the windows with. But you have to find a good towel, because if you don't get the right towel, it doesn't dry the window, and you just leave all the marks of the towel around the window. So I'll show you what I've been using for quite a long time, up until last year. So basically I would just have kind of rags and towels like this, and these are great, but you have to find one that actually absorbs the water, and I've got to mix them. So sometimes what I'll do, or I always have like a wet towel and dry towel, switching them out. But these towels, they're all right. But this year I started watching videos again, and I saw another video. Actually, I watched Luke the window cleaner quite a bit, so if you haven't seen them, go check them out. Anyways, there's the Huck towels or surgical towels, same kind of towel, just different name. They're old reused hospital towels, and this is what they look like. I should have bought these years ago. These honestly are the most amazing towels I've ever used. They suck the water up like crazy, and even when they're wet, they still work. So yeah, these are great towels. I'm gonna buy a lot more this year because we go through them quite a bit. What I do when they get wet, you just throw them on the truck on a hot sunny day, let them dry, and I can reuse them. Another thing I do, which I shouldn't be doing, I realized this, but these aren't lint, or they're lint free. So I always end up washing them with my other towels and they get lint in them, so I gotta stop doing that. Once I buy more of these, I'll just throw all these together and just wash them separately, because you don't want to leave lint on behind the windows too. That's not good either. So these are fantastic towels. There's microfibers as well. I used to use these, but I don't really like them that much. I don't find they work that well for me. I bought a big pack of them for super cheap, but yeah, I don't really use these that much. So pretty much that's it for the rags. If you're gonna start a window cleaning business, or if you don't have any good rags, honestly, go buy a bunch of these. These things are fantastic. I cannot like say anything bad about these yet. These things are awesome. So yeah, if you haven't done that, buy those. Okay guys, if you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions about any other gear that I have, leave me comments below, and I can answer those questions. And actually, one more important thing are ladders. So let me show you the ladders. Alright, so the ladders I use. I have 2 step ladders. I believe these are 4-foot ladders. I only had one up to last year, but I ended up buying a second ladder because I needed 2. I've got my 24-foot ladder up here. This is my newest one. It's super sturdy. It's I think it's the grade 2. It's the higher grade ladder. It's better steel or aluminum, and it's a lot stronger. Then I've got the 8-foot ladder behind it. So this ladder is great because you can put it out in a V straight up, or what's the other way? Or if you're on stairs, you can put it on stairs and angle it different ways. I have another 24-foot ladder right here. This is my oldest one. I gotta get rid of that because it's not safe anymore. And then the last ladder I have is my 32-foot ladder, which this is fantastic. I don't use that too often. I try not to use it. I hate going up that high, but so I've got that ladder. And then another thing I have are the standoff arms. Now I don't know if that's the proper name for them, but what you do, you slap them in the holes of the ladder there, and when you put it up against the window or building, you can get off a little bit further, so you're not so close to the window. It helps out quite a bit. So that's the ladders I use. I'm trying to think what else I have. I have a back rack on the back of my truck, so I put the ladders on the back of the truck, and then they don't scrape the top of the truck bed. And then just one more quick thing. So the buckets, I've got nice big buckets. So I've got a big bucket for my for the rags. I've got a small little bucket for my tools, which I might get a bigger bucket because I tend to have quite a bit. It's not so kind of running our room. And then I actually have one more bin upstairs that I use for my wet rags. So I've got a dry and wet bin. When the rags get wet, we throw them in the wet bin, so we don't keep them together, because if you put your wet rags in your dry rags, you're all gonna have wet rags, and you don't want that. What else? Let me look in here quickly. Actually, one more thing for my window cleaning. When I do windows in the winter time now, actually I saw a lot of guys, what they do, they get lots of little bins like this, so you can pour water and you take it with you. The storefronts I usually try to take water with me because I don't want to get water from the stores now. So I'm trying to collect a couple more bins like that, so I can just take the water with me, just dump it out in the buckets when I get to the storefront. And then the last thing are the poles. So I've got these 2 poles. They're both Unger. These things are fantastic. I use these for storefronts only. I should probably take them when I do residential, because sometimes you do need a pole just to get a small little spot, or you can't reach something, but usually you don't really need it, but sometimes it's good to have it. So that's what I use for my storefronts. Those are great. Alright, so I think that's it for my window cleaning stuff. So yeah, once again guys, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below and I will answer them. Alright guys, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.